the entertainment field and works to help individuals with communication and leadership skills. He also helps with marketing. He's definitely good for marketing. If you notice, guys, when you go to the bathroom, you might see the flyer for New Lenox in there. That was his idea. He's married to the love of his life, and together they raised 2 sons. And Dale also recently appeared on his second TEDx talk, and where he offered his knowledge on how to advance, how to advance in a Toastmasters club. So please welcome up Dale Obrochta. We have the tools. We have the tools. Dale Obrochta.
If we have any more members, we're going to have to start a new club. That's what I heard when I put on the hat to be the president of the Orland Park Toastmasters. I want to ask a question, and I'd like to see a show of hands. How many people here would like to have that problem for their club of having too many members? Look around the room. Notice, it's a problem that almost everybody would like to have. But I didn't look at that as a problem. I looked at it for a way of getting better. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, it's easy to grow a club. We have the resources to do that. And many of the people here have the resources. It's just how we use the resources. So let's talk about the resources we have to help grow our clubs. So let me ask you, what resources has Toastmasters provided to you to help you grow your clubs?
Website.
If I could have your name and club.
James.
James, where are you from?
Talk of the channel.
What do we have?
The websites.
Websites. Anybody else?
Marcia from Twin City Toastmasters in Michigan. We have Speechcraft.
Come on, folks. She came all the way from Michigan. You have what?
Speechcraft.
Speechcraft. Do we have any other tools?
Mike from New Lenox, Meetup.
Meetup. Those are all the tools we have. We have Facebook.
Facebook.
Social media.
Audie from Mount Portland Park, we have something called drip marketing.
You have drip marketing.
There will listen to Lennox, capacity to use the local newspaper.
Newspaper. Let me ask something here. We're going to ask Toastmasters, active listening. What did Michael Scampini just say that is hanging in the men's bathroom? Flyers. These are all great ideas, but I didn't really use any of them. I was doing some research on customer service, and I come across this quote that said, the culture of a club is not based on an individual, but based on a group over time. So let's modify that for Toastmasters. The culture of Toastmasters is not based on the president, but by the officers over time. Changes the club. Now, I knew coming the new president, the club was going to change. I want to make a statement here. Orland Park Toastmasters Club in District 30 is a well-established club. It is a solid club. We have a good membership. We have a good turnout. We've won Distinguished President numerous times. Some in District 30 would say that is a model club. But I know from being a member, and now the president and past president, things change. We have new members coming in and old members, well, I don't want to call them old members. We have veteran Toastmasters leaving. The club changes. Now, how did I accept the change and prepare my team for change? Instead of me coming up and saying, this is the theme, and we're going to talk about this theme, and we're going to talk about that theme, I came up, and I got up to that lectern, and I got there, and I said, we're going to talk about change. Why did we come to Toastmasters? To change. We want to be great speakers. We want to change and become great leaders. And I knew as president, I wasn't going to change the club. It was my officers, over time, were going to change the club. I realized something, that in Toastmasters, we have evaluators. We have general evaluators. And general evaluator comes in every meeting and says, these are the things that you do great. And these are the things that need to be improved. Need to be improved. Need to be improved. And I sat there as a member and I heard that. As president, I sat there and I thought about it. And I realized something, that we were not really fixing what we were supposed to improve. We would do it, we would fix it, the next meeting would come along, yay, we did it, and then 3 weeks later, it needed to be improved again. So I realized our challenge was actually to come up with solutions. And they weren't short-term solutions, they were long-term solutions. So the mindset of our group went from not this meeting, not my administration, but the next group of officers. What are we going to do to eliminate these challenges so our next officers do not have that problem? And I noticed a change in our group. They started focusing in on their programs different. Sergeant of Arms, Audie, came up to me and went, Dale, like many clubs, we have a closet. It's messy. Can I do an inventory? Can I throw out the bad stuff? Audie, sure. Get rid of the junk. My treasurer went, do you need new bins? Do you need labels? Do you need folders? Now, what happened was, our past sergeant of arms walks into the closet and goes, whoa! Where did we get such a big closet? Everything's got a place. It's got a purpose. Our sergeant of arms didn't do it to make his job easier. He made it so if he missed a meeting, the president could find stuff. He made it so the next sergeant of arms came in and went, oh, everything's got a place. There's no broken stuff. It's easy to do my job. The club secretary looked at me and went, Dale, how about we do word templates? I could create a word template and have everything laid out. And then we could archive it. And we could take the other notes and archive them on Google Docs. So that means the next secretary comes in, doesn't have to worry about some kind of template or what to use. It's all there. Our team started looking at ourselves. What do we do when an officer doesn't show up? Who handles the president's role? Yes, it's the VP of E, but he forgot to call us. So we're waiting around. Who's going to step into his shoes? So we created a procedure for ourselves. And the procedure was not, oh, what is this administration going to do? Because we know you can't make every other night. It is, what is the procedure for every officer going on beyond this point? We also tackled the challenge of membership. We chose to never have an open house again. I I want to take that $100 earmark for our open house, and we want to do something else with it. We looked at that challenge from a long term. We wanted to eliminate it. And I'm happy to say, third year in a row, we don't have an open house. So let's recap real quick here. In the first month, I realized it wasn't the president, but the team that changed the club. It was a long-term process, not a short-term process. The solutions that we were looking for were going to be solved. We weren't going to put Band-Aids on the problem. We were going to eliminate the problem and come up and overcome our challenges. And in reality, we were trying to make it easier for not only the members, but the officers. That was the first, what I like to call, despicable me moment of light bulb when I realized that. I then realized something. I have new people, and I have veteran Toastmasters. As president, I now need to balance this. If I put all my energy on the new people, there's no reason for the veterans to come. If I focus everything on the veteran entertainers, the new Toastmaster is left behind. So I was perplexed. I reached out to a friend of mine, Garrett Gray. And we were talking, and he said something that resonated deep in my heart. He goes, Dale, you know what? Great evaluators turn into great speakers. I was like, oh, you know, this light comes shining down on him. I'm like, that is an idea. Or as I like to think of it, light bulb. So here I am, very next day, picking up the phone, calling my district growth manager. Iqbal, Atcha. Iqbal! It's Dale Obrochta, Orland Park Toastmasters. We met once, but I want the list of all your best evaluators. Past champs, current champs, people who are thinking they're going to be a champ. Connect me. 3 weeks later, we had a champion speaking. Now, our club was fortunate. We have Garrett Gray in our club. We're used to Garrett coming out. Reached out and got another Gray, Thaddeus Gray. No relationship. Another past champion. Reached out to District 30. Got champions from there. Now, something started to happen. I noticed a difference. Our attendance increased. Why? Because they were hearing these great evaluations. Our advanced speakers started to drool, going, oh, Thaddeus Gray is going to evaluate me, yes! And then I'm going to see this other Garrett Gray evaluate people, cool! I noticed our club evaluation skills went from here to here because they were having leaders to follow. And you don't have to take my word for it. If you want to know how that actually worked, talk to Orland Park Toastmaster Michael Scampini, District 54 evaluation champion. That is my credit right there. I noticed the last thing. The guests were going, that was cool. That was great speech, but that was great information. Not yet. Light bulb didn't occur right away. Let's see, we got people coming out. It's doing good. And the guests are liking this. That's when I reached out to my treasurer. My treasurer was a past president. Tom was president 4 years prior to me. I looked at Tom and went, what were your problems? He goes, enrollment, blah, blah. What? Enrollment. What did you do? Well, we created a guest packet. I think we have one. Alyssa, do we have a guest packet? Yes, we do. Okay, yeah, we have one. Typical president. Tom, what did you have in yours? He opened it up, he looked at it, he goes, you know, I had another sheet. Tell you what, I'll print it out, we'll start putting that in, because it seemed to work. And then we had an email. District 30, Growth Director again, Iqbal Etchek, put together a series on how to develop a membership packet. Tom, look it over. Tom came back to me and went, there's some good ideas in here. So now, light bulb, we developed our marketing packet. Now, our marketing packet, probably have one. But here is where my business skills came in. And I started thinking about it, going, nobody buys a product on the first time they see it. I have people coming in, and what's happening is they see the evaluation. Now, let's picture the moment in our heads. You're in your club. You have your best evaluator on stage. Doesn't matter if he's evaluating a new person or experienced. And he is just, or she is just out there and giving great advice. And you have a guest in the audience. End of the event. At the end of the meeting you go, and what did you think of our meeting? And they pop up and they go, it was great. I love the energy. You guys were so friendly. And the feedback. I mean, Tom over here, I thought gave a great speech, but Mike came up on stage and wow, I see the benefit of his feedback. It really can help somebody. That's when the light bulb goes on in your head, going, he's just told you what he likes about your club. Yes, you're friendly, but the key is he saw a personal benefit. The evaluation, and Toastmasters knows this. So what I realized was we gave them that guest packet, but the guest packet didn't work due to the fact that in business, what do we need? You need to see something 7 to 10 times. Or, if I go 588, you probably know the last couple 4 numbers, 2-300. Why? Because it's been repeated. Your guest books don't work. So we started using what we call drip marketing. The drip marketing was an email system that would send emails over a set time period. Now, in this process, I had it set up that from day one that they came in, the next day the email went out, and we have 2 weeks between our programs. They received approximately 7 emails. The day before our meeting, they received another email inviting them to come back to your new friends at Toastmasters, check us out, and see if we were as good as you thought we were last time. And I noticed something. They started coming. They started popping out of their chairs. They went, I like this. I have a check. Sign me up. Now, at one point, near the end of my administration, we were basically having, it seemed like guests every night. But when I look at the numbers, for every 4 that came through the door, we signed up 3. Now, I want to ask a question. Do we have any treasurers here? Yes, treasurers. I'm going to ask you some detailed, tough, hard. No, it's an easy question. We have 2 things that occur. Usually in, I think it's October for our club, and then it happens, in June? Maybe July, somewhere around there? You have to do what? You have to call people and say, hey, time to renew dues. Treasurers, what usually happens every time it seems like you go to collect money? What happens to your rosters? Does it increase or?
Decrease.
You can say it louder. Go ahead, treasurers. Come on, say it louder, treasurers.
Decrease.
Everybody, it?
Decrease.
There's a natural nutrition that happens that every club goes through. So I would look at my treasurer and go, Tom, how many did we lose? We lost 6. Don't worry, we gained 8. Oh, cool. How did we lose them? Life. Some of our advanced leaders, I've been in Toastmasters 30 years. I'm retired. I don't need to do this anymore because I'm moving to Florida. We have new members who got jobs. So their careers path changed. So did our membership. I realized that as long as we were doing the math, for every 2 we lost, we signed up 3, we were in good state. And the only way that occurred was by marketing to everybody that came through that door. You come through the door, you've solved a big, big problem. Now, writing this speech, guess what I had? What is it? What is it? Moment. Anybody hear of the 80-20 rule? The 80-20 rule says 80% of your business comes from 20%. I was sitting there thinking, and this is for the clubs that are struggling. This is your takeaway at this moment. If you didn't take anything away, this is the one thing I want you to do. This is your call to action. Look at past members. How hard is it to convince a past member? Every president here, you go back and tell your president, dig out your records. Find everybody who left the club in the last 4 years. Send them an email. Call them. Send them a letter. Invite them back to your club. They know your club. They know what Toastmasters is about. You don't have to do a big song and dance. They'll come in and go, wow, I remember this place. Holy cow, look at all the members. Wow, you guys are doing some really cool stuff. I miss it. Oh, it's only $5 more than it was when I was a member or joined. I could either spend my time with the kids or I can join. So for all those clubs that are trying to get new members to keep walking through the door, look at your past members. You are sitting there with a database of potential gold. You want to take it one step farther. I have been meaning to do this, and I haven't done it. Orland Park Toastmasters set up a meetup. Some of you have meetups. And it's amazing the number of people that join a meetup group. I think to date we have 60 people in the meetup. We drew one person out of the meetup group. Really bad numbers. You know why? We don't market to it. If the PR person looks at that and goes, I have 30 people who said they have interest, I should be marketing nonstop to those 30 people until they get frustrated and leave. Because there had to be a reason why they click, I want to be a part of it. People who join your Facebook, same thing. Email, why did you join our Facebook group? Oh, you're friends? Well, why don't you become a speaker? Why don't you come out and visit our club? So for those clubs that are struggling, look at your past. Look at all the information that's coming in. If you look at this hat, it wasn't made with one balloon. It's made up of multiple balloons. There wasn't one idea here that made this hat. It was a group of ideas put together made this hat. The resources I used? Right here at my fingertips. You have the resources. You have the tools. It's just up to you to use them. Mr. Toastmaster. Thank you.